What's up, trial? Child, the ladies down to the Real Housewives of Dubai acted a whole fool last night. Let's get into it. First of all, the episode was a little extra. It was an hour and 15 minutes. I said, I guess Bravo said, y'all gonna get this good here drama. Now, I'll be honest with you. I think people are sleeping on Dubai. The ratings are not great. But I do think people are sleeping on Dubai. I think Dubai is pretty good. So let's get into it. And I figured out now why Caroline Brooks is so upset. I still don't agree, but now I know why she's so upset, right? She's upset. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell it. She's upset because she feels like she is the reason why Talene is on the show. And basically, Talene owes her, and Talene is supposed to be blindly loyal to her no matter what the situation is. It's a very Teresa Giudice mindset that Caroline Brooks has. It's a very Teresa Giudice mindset, right? I'm the reason why you're on the show, and you owe me everything. What up, Cajun? Hey, Marnie. Hey, Terica. Hey. So let's get into it. Your reviews seem more interesting than the show. Maybe I'll watch. Well, I like to think I'm a little entertaining, Cajun. All right, you guys. So the show opens up. Y'all know how that got to show us the people doing this and the people doing that, child. The people with their kids and all that good stuff. So we see Ayan is getting ready for her. She decided to do her makeup launch as a fashion show. I saw it, Cajun. You getting a little beside yourself with the timestamps, but I saw it. Let me say this. First of all, Chanel is beautiful, and she showed her bald head. I'm wondering what that is. I'm wondering if she shaved her head for a reason, or if she's just the type of woman that shaves her head, because there are women who keep their hair short. There are women who shave their hair bald, but I have friends who have had to shave their hair for different reasons. So I'm wondering, but she's beautiful. She's definitely, she's definitely beautiful with that bald head, honey. She was rocking it. So we see her getting ready for her makeup launch. I am going to say this, and we see her brother and her sister there, and they're so proud of her, and they talk a little bit about their lifestyle, their life, and basically how poor they were growing up, and how Well, thank you, Marnie. I appreciate that. You are very entertaining, really. I don't watch the show. I'm here for the commentary. Well, thank you, boo. But I really feel like Ayan did a really good job with this launch, right? She had merch. She had a beautiful premiere show with a fashion show. She had a one-of-a-kind couture dress out of a museum. She looked like an Egyptian goddess. I did not like how her hair was in her runway look. I hated that back ponytail. It looked raggedy. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But I felt like it was a little hateration when Talene was like, it's a beautiful fashion show, but I don't see any of her products. I'm like, you idiot. She's literally wearing her products. All of the models' makeup came from her makeup line. Now, I will say this. I do think because the fashion show was so elaborate, it did take away from that. I feel like she maybe could have had a more toned down fashion show. Like all of the models came out in black, and then we would have been only focused on their face. Because again, remember, you are advertising the makeup. So if all of the model, and they were wearing black and gold, but they were very elaborate black and gold outfits. I feel like if all of the makeup, you remember back in the day, what was his name? The singer that had the women backup dancers and band, and all they wore was black, and their hair was slicked back in a ponytail, and I feel like that would have made it pop. And I feel like that would have made people focus on the eyelashes and the makeup and the contouring and all of that. But it was a beautiful show. I definitely feel like it was a beautiful show. She should have been holding the products too. I think, yeah, but they did have displays. They did have the makeup out. You know what I mean? They did have the makeup out on display. Right, Brooks. Well, we expect Brooks to be hating. But Robert Palmer, thank you, Marty. Yeah, Robert Palmer. We expect Brooks to be hating. Brooks was hating, talking about some, oh, I think her partner did a great job. Her partner, as if Ayan didn't have anything to do with it. And let's be clear, Ayan may be the face of it, but it's her name on the logo. It's her name on the product. So I just, but I expect that from Brooks. Like I expect Brooks to just be a whole hater, right? But I thought the show was great. I really did. But I am going to say this. Lisa and Brooks showing up at the end. Now, Lisa says she got caught in traffic, yada, yada, yada. Brooks, I don't know what the hell, but Brooks literally was walking in as Ayan was walking out to go do her little costume change to come to the after party. Which means you literally missed the whole damn thing. I don't know, y'all. The models holding some of the products coming down the runway would have been genius. Yeah. Yeah, in Lisa's case, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because I do believe that Lisa genuinely loves Ayan. And I do believe that Lisa genuinely wants to see her win. So I don't think hers was purpose. Purpose was on purpose. But Brooks, on the other hand, she is a hater. And I think that everything she does is calculated. I don't think anything Brooks does is an accident. So her being late to the point where it was over, I do not think it was an accident. But the show itself, I thought was great, right? So then we have the little after party where the ladies are, partying or whatever. We find out that, oh no, that's later on in the episode. We still having this conversation about Stansberry and Sarah. Can I be honest with y'all and tell y'all I still don't understand why Stansberry is so mad at Sarah? And Sarah tried to tell her, like, girl, listen, you know who I am. Like, you know me. And I need you to just accept me. Well, this was another scene, but y'all, I'm just got to blend it all together. But she was like, you know me. And I need you to accept who I am. Like, I'm all about healing. And, I want everybody to be vibing and zen and all of that. So I need you to just accept who I am. And I feel like you don't do that. And Stansberry is still mad at Sarah. I still don't understand why Stansberry is mad at Sarah. I really don't. Like, Stansberry, I'm with you most of the time this season. Like, I really kind of am. But on this one, I'm confusion. I'm just going to be honest. On this one, I am 100% confusion. Now, Brooks is ignoring Talene. Talene said that her and Brooks still have not really had a talk. She said that she has called her. She has reached out to her. She has texted her. And basically, Brooks is leaving her on red. And when she does respond, it's like one word. Okay, thank you. I see you. All right. It's very, very one word answers or whatever. So finally, Brooks turns to Talene to talk to her. And Brooks says, sometimes my delivery is just bad. I understand that my delivery sometimes it's bad. She said, and Brooks actually apologized for how she reacted to what Talene said. Talene was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Brooks actually apologized for something. And it was a whole thing that everybody made a big deal about the fact that Brooks actually apologized, right? Cute, whatever. That's important that Brooks apologized. And she didn't put any caveats on there. She just was like, I know that my delivery, she said, I know, and she was like, well, sometimes I don't think you understand what you're saying. And Brooks was like, oh no, I know exactly what I'm saying. I just don't always understand why people, I don't always know why people respond the way they respond to what I'm saying, but I know what I'm saying. But that was pretty much the fashion show. So then we get to Sarah, Brooks, and Lisa, I think, meeting up for lunch. This was pretty uneventful as well, other than the fact that, well, no, I take that back. It wasn't uneventful, Lord. The main thing that happened at this lunch. The ladies decided they need to go on the trip. They decide that, Lisa needs a break, so they're going to Bali. Y'all know how this goes. They're going to Bali. It's going to be called Eat, Pray, Party. They put Sarah's in charge of the praying, Lisa's in charge of the eating, and Brooks is in charge of the partying part. So they bring up the fact that Brooks and Talene made peace and that Brooks apologized to Talene. Brooks says, yeah, because I apologize because I called her a beggar. And they were like, what you mean a beggar? A beggar of what? Like, you need to clear that up. Like, a beggar of clothes? Like, you beg, like, what are you begging for? And and Brooks was like, well, because she begs me for everything. I mean, she begged for this, she begged for that. She begged to be on this show. Now, in her confessional, she said she begged to be on TV. She said, well, I don't want to say the show, but that's what she did. And come to find out, she said she begged me last season to take her. She begged me to introduce her to Stansbury. She wanted to be a part of this friend group, and she begged me to bring her in. And they showed last season where Talene was at a lot of the group events. She was at Caroline Stansbury's, the party she had. She was at Lisa's fashion show. But let me say this. The way you said you don't care about that lady's relationship in the last video, I don't care. I listen, Sarah just don't do it for me. But let me say this. I believe that Talene wanted to be on this show. I do. I believe Talene wanted to be on this show. 100% believe that. But I don't believe that Caroline Brooks is the sole reason that she's on the show. We know how this game goes with the reality TV, right? The people can suggest people, but there's still a process that people have to go through to get on the show. They still have to go through the process, and they have to do the testing and all of those things. Do I think it helped that Brooks was on the show and Brooks could put in a good word for her and all of that? Absolutely. Obviously, yes. And even if Brooks is the sole reason for her to be on the show, that does not mean she owes you everything. That does not mean that she can't genuinely get to know these ladies. That does not mean that she can't create her own space within this friend group. And that doesn't mean that just because she's cool, she becomes cool with Stansbury or she becomes cool with Ayan. It doesn't mean that you are no longer a friend to her. It doesn't mean that she doesn't still think that you her number one, girl on the roster, right? Like, I don't understand these people that don't feel like we can't have multiple friends. And I hate that people do that. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Now, I used to be like that. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lies. I used to be like that. If my friend didn't like somebody, it was on and popping. And don't get me wrong, depending on why you don't like a person, I'm still like that. You know what I'm saying? If you try to come for somebody and try to create a moment, or you try to come for a friend of mine's family, livelihood, or anything like that, it's still on. But on a reality show level, come on, you really don't have a good reason to not like Stansbury. Stansbury ain't done nothing to you, Brooks. She hasn't tried to shut your business down. She ain't tried to sleep with your ex-husband. She ain't tried to steal your boyfriend. She has not done anything to try to hurt your life. It is just some reality TV show bullshit. Right, sounds like Mariah and Quad, Nene and Marlo. Yes, it does, Cajun. It's very that. So we're going to get more into that later on. So she tells Lisa and Sarah, oh, yes, I didn't apologize for what happened. For anything. I apologize because I called her a beggar, and I just thought that was rude. Now, mind you, when we heard the apology, we didn't hear nothing about no beggar. We ain't see no, y'all know production would have showed us if that happened on camera. We ain't see no flashback of her calling her no beggar. We ain't see none of that. So somewhere, somehow, if that did happen, that happened off camera. However, I don't think that's what Talene was talking about when Talene wanted an apology, because Talene didn't say nothing about that. Because I think Talene would have said it. And let me tell you the reason why I think it is because the way Talene acted at the end of this episode tells me she would have said it. Okay. We have a scene with Ayan, her sister, and her brother. And again, I want to care. But I feel like I've already given you guys that. They meet out on the beach and they talk about, their life growing up and, how they didn't have a lot of money. And Ayan was the one that would go out and find the food, but how, they've done something really right, that all three of them have moved on and they are very successful and they've created these successful lives for themselves, and how proud they are of each other and how they've created a better place for their kids, right? So it was a great moment. Again, I told you guys, I wanted to get back to a place where you appreciate scenes like this. So it's not that I didn't appreciate this moment. It's just that I feel like y'all had already told us all of this. And you know what I mean? I feel like she had already told us all of this. But okay, girl. So then we see Lisa and her husband going out on date night. She said that, years ago, they found themselves moving away from each other, working too hard and not making each other the priority. So they made a promise that no matter what her husband is doing, he always makes it home for date night. So this is their date night. They're having dinner. And Lisa tells him how she's overwhelmed and how, there's just a lot on her and she's just trying to, be the best mama she can be, but then it's just so much and she's so stressed out and she's so tired all the time. And her husband was like, girl, you need to let me know. You can lean on me. That's what we're here for. I'm a partner. I got your back. So that's what she needed to hear. Again, this was a good moment to see Lisa taking Ayan's advice and actually having the conversation with her husband and opening up to him and letting him know how much she's struggling and how hard things are for her right now with her juggling. Like, I think she said something about her kids are playing soccer 5 days a week now. Do you know how hard that is? First of all, she doesn't even work a 9 to 5, right? She runs her own business, which means that her hours fluctuate. She's in Dubai. If she's trying to do business on the other side of the world, she's probably got to be up all hours of the night. Like, I'm sure it's a lot of layers to this, but to make sure that your kids, I have friends who have kids in sports and other activities. That is a lot. And it is draining. You know what I mean? It is draining. And 5 days a week. So every single day she got to take her kids somewhere to go play a game. Then she got to wait for them to play the game and then take them home, get them something to eat, get them washed up, get them ready for bed, just to turn around and do it all over again tomorrow. That is a lot. And I'm sure she has a nanny and all of those things, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still a lot. Okay. And it sounds like her husband travels a lot. Then he gonna say, will a Birkin make you feel better? She talk about some, now you talk about language. I know that's right. Because at the end of the day, a Birkin makes everything better. I don't have a Birkin. But I'm sure that if I was dating somebody rich enough to buy me a Birkin, I'm sure it would make me feel better. We're going to speak that into existence. Okay, we're gonna speak it into existence that really be date somebody that's rich enough to buy her a Birkin when she's feeling sad. Okay, so that was a good little scene. So then we see the ladies going out to the beach. It's Ayan, it's Talene, Lisa, and Stansberry. They go out to the beach again. It is a beautiful scenery. I don't know where the hell they were, but baby, I couldn't even halfway pay attention to what they was talking about because I was too busy looking at the scenery because it was it was almost like where they were sitting. It was almost like, they were sitting in lounge chairs in an infinity pool, but the view behind the infinity pool was it was like the skyline of Dubai. It was gorgeous because they were up in the air. Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Like, a part of me doesn't even want to go to Dubai anymore because I just feel like everybody's like been there, done that kind of thing. But it's stuff like that that makes me be like, oh no, I still want to go to Dubai because I want, like, that would be, I don't even have the words to describe that backdrop. It was gorgeous. What about someone eyeing that secret 20-year-old man you've been shacking up with? Child, if it's a 20-year-old man in this house, he wouldn't be no secret. Okay. So while they're there, that's when we find out about the Bali trip. They're talking about the Bali trip and everybody's like, oh, we're going to Bali. Yay, it's exciting. And I'm sorry, y'all. I thought about something real quick. And that's when Lisa, they get to talking about Brooks finally apologizing. Yeah, the Dubai they're living in is definitely for the expats. Yes, absolutely. So in the conversation, Lisa says, "Yeah, well, I talked to Brooks, and Brooks told me that she apologized because she said that you were a beggar. She apologized because she called you a beggar." And baby Talene was like, She said, "A what? A what?" And Lisa was like, "Yeah, girl, like that's what she told us. Like you don't know that's why she said she apologized to you, baby." Talene was like, "A beggar." A beggar. Like Talene was like, what? A beggar. And she said, yeah, because she said that, basically, you begged her to be on the show and you begged her to introduce her to us. Baby, Talene was hot. You hear me? Talene was hot. And of course, Stansberry is like, yeah, I'm not. She said, listen, I don't even understand what her issue is, right? Like Brooks is just, she doesn't ever admit to doing anything wrong. She can't accept that, whenever she's done, she's like, I don't know what's going on with Brooks. But baby, Talene you could knock her over with a feather. So you knew right then and there it was about to be a whole situation, right? So we find out that Stansberry is having a housewarming situation down to her house. And she invited everybody, okay, including Brooks. She invited everybody down to her house. And the house is gorgeous. I mean, we've already talked about the house being gorgeous. It was a sit-down dinner party. So it wasn't like a traditional housewarming where everybody just come over and it was a dinner party with a chef. And baby, let me tell you something. And see, this is what I be talking about when people want to pretend like they come from such, high quality and stuff. You know good and daggone well that when you're invited to a dinner party, it ain't no plus ones, right? It is a very specific seating chart. You know that. It's not like an open, anybody can come. Baby, why Brooks gonna bring a plus one talking about something? Oh, this is my friend visiting me from Jordan. Child, it's her nail tech. Baby, Stansberry was hot. Luckily, Lisa's husband didn't come, so it didn't throw the seating chart off too much. But baby, Stansberry was hot. She was like, why would you do that? She said, like, you don't just show up. Like, I have the chef made specific meals and there's a seating chart and I only have seats for a certain number of people. Like, you know better. Like, don't do that to me. Don't put me on the spot like that. Because what if Lisa's husband had shown up? Where was that girl gonna sit? And then Brooks had the nerve to be like, well, I want her to sit next to me. Girl, she gonna sit wherever they find a seat for her. I thought that was so disrespectful. Anyway, Chad. So Stansberry does have a conversation with Sergio before everybody gets there. And she's thanking him. She tells him that she did talk to her daughter and that hopefully they can move forward in a more positive way. And she thanks him for, really trying his best and trying to be a good stepdaddy. And Stansberry's mindset is, well, no blended family, it's not easy. No step parent has it easy. So we'll work it out. I really think she's burying her head and not understanding that this issue is a lot bigger than what. I don't think it's as simple as just we talked and I told her do better and that's going to be it. Like, her daughter has some really deep feelings about not just you and Sergio, but just how it went down and even how she was raised. Like, she talked about the fact that she doesn't want you to have any more kids because you didn't raise her. And she doesn't want you to be in that situation. Like, you didn't raise me. Like, the nannies raised me. So I don't think it's as simple as, oh, this is a blended family that we're having a hard time, blending. I think it's deeper than that. So, but, she can go off to college. So that may be something that she just have to deal with her therapist, child. I don't know. The other thing, before I get to the drama, the other thing we found out is that Michael, y'all remember Michael, the friend that Stansberry and Sergio was staying with for the last couple of months while their house was getting finished? Allegedly, Michael told everybody when he had their, I'm glad you leaving party, he got drunk. And he told everybody that he pays all of Caroline Stansberry's bills. That's what he had said. He said he paying for the new house, the old house. Matter of fact, they said, hell, he even paying for her maid. Now, I don't believe it. Now, do I believe he said it? Maybe, but I don't believe it's true for a couple of reasons. Number one, that man said when she asked him about when they were having a party and she was talking about how beautiful the party was, and he was like, yeah, I can't. She was like, you should do this more often. He was like, hell, I can't afford to do this kind of party all the time. So I was like, I don't feel like somebody that's saying that they can't afford to have a party on a regular basis is paying all of Caroline Stansberry's bills. Now, I do wonder where Caroline Stansberry getting her damn money from. But I did find this article, and I'm going to read y'all this real quick. We ain't going to spend a whole lot of time on it. This is an article talking about her net worth. It says, Caroline Stansberry comes from the wealthy Vesti family in England. Her father was a venture capitalist, and her mother ran a clothing business. According to Hello Magazine, her mother was born. I ain't gonna get into all of that, child. Okay. She said that she is able to show off her wealth in a way she couldn't in her home country, talking about in Dubai. She said that according to the Daily Mail, in Britain, we're taught that if you have money, you shouldn't show it. You're meant to turn your lights off at 7 p.m. and share a bath with your family. Here, you turn all your lights on and you put on your jewelry at once. Any British billionaire is dressed in Marks and Spencer, and that's what we do. Here, we wear Dolce & Gabbana, and so do their children. They're doing something right. The rest of the world hasn't gotten to yet. Number two, it says that Caroline Stansberry worked in the fashion industry and started her own company before coming on Ladies of London and the Real Housewives of Dubai. It says one of Stansberry's former partners, Mark Simon, unsuccessfully sued her after her business failed. According to court documents, he accused Stansberry of unlawfully moving assets from her business to her personal account. Ooh. Stansberry's ex-husband, Caleb Habib, is a millionaire investment banker, and they have 3 children together. Stansberry was married to Turkish investment banker from 2024 to 2019. They moved from London to Dubai. He is on the board of directors for CIS Private Equity, according to public records. So, yeah, I don't think that she needs another man to pay all her bills. I just don't. I think that she's got family money and between her husband and her own thing. That's just, why was Michael not at that party? That's an interesting question, Terica. Maybe he was out of the big country, honey. Maybe he was too busy tricking to pay her bills. I don't know. Maybe it's true to a certain extent, because then you're saying you're also taking care of another man. Right, because, so they brought that up. And that, again, like I said, I believe Michael said it. I just don't believe it's true. But neither here nor there. Because Michael seemed like the kind of person that would say something like that. Because he made little comments like that every time he got a little camera time. He would throw little comments out there about, them overstaying their welcome. And, he was being a little shady. So I believe he probably said it. I just don't believe it's true. Anyway. So then we're at the party. Brooks is getting drunk. She is drinking and she is getting drunk. And of course, now she got that liquid courage and she's starting to make comments under her breath, and she's slurring, and first of all, she showed up with sage. Who the fuck shows up at somebody's house with burning sage? Now, I've had people, when I got my house, I had people give me sage. I've had people gift me sage like for the New Year, to sage your house for the new year. But to walk into somebody's house with a burning piece of sage is rude. What are you doing? But Brooks is just trying to have a moment. She's just trying to be seen. And Stansberry was like, I'm not going to even let her get me there. I know she's just trying to be seen. I know what she's trying to do. I'm not even going to let her do that. So she's getting drunk. She's slurring her words, and she starts mumbling under her breath. Fake, 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 fake. And Talene was like, I'm sorry, what? What you say? And she was like, I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you. Talene was like, but what you say? Like, who you talking about then? What's fake? Who's fake? Because remember, Talene knows about Brooke saying she was a beggar and begged to get on the show. But she was like, I'm not going to bring it up at Stansbury's party. Like, I'm going to try to respect her house. And I'm not going to bring it up right now. But right now, I really ain't feeling Brooks. And, you know, I feel like anything Brooks did, she was waiting. She was just waiting for Brooks to... So Talene gets up. They get to arguing, and Talene gets up, and she's pissed off. So Stansbury walks over to Talene and be like, girl, what's going on? So Talene is telling her what happened, and she was like, I'm really trying my best to respect your house. I really don't want to say nothing here. And baby Stansbury was like, please don't. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like, don't bring that here. We don't want that juju up in here. Thank you. Thank you much. Thank you very much. And she was like, I'm so mad. I'm so pissed off. Like, I can't believe her. Why would she do this? So then Brooks was like, what? What was said? What? You know how people, what was said? What was said? So they get to arguing. And Talene's husband is like, Brooks, come on. You know you my girl, but come on now. You know that, you know what you said was wrong. You know what you said was wrong. Lisa and Talene they have talk and have arguing. Brooks and Talene. Lisa comes to pull Brooks away. And you know this was edited, so I can't even give you a succinct chain of events. But next thing you know, Talene's husband is telling Brooks, look, chill out, Brooks. Like, chill out. Like, you my girl, but you're doing too much right now. Oh, I know what it was. Brooks started telling Talene, stop drinking so much. And Talene's husband was like, wait, what? Like, now you my girl and all, but we all know that you can throw him down too. Like, don't be trying to put my wife on the spot when we know you be throwing it back too. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. We know that you do it don't do that. And she was like, what you mean? What you mean? I don't know what you're saying. What you mean? Next thing you know, Talene's husband. Well, just simply, if you haven't watched the episode, you don't know what happened, so you can't say that he was completely wrong if you didn't see the episode. All you saw was a clip. I personally understand. First of all, let me say this. Again, it was edited, so we didn't see everything. Because 1 minute they were arguing, and the next minute the husband was yelling. Right? You saw the clip, but you didn't see the whole episode, so you got to put it in context. This is my opinion. Now you feel how you feel. Talene's husband was trying to tell Brooks, chill out, stay over there, because he was trying to get Talene away. Because Talene was getting bucked too. Let's be clear. Talene was getting bucked too. He was trying to tell Brooks, because Lisa was pulling Brooks away. Brooks kept coming back. Talene kept coming back. Both of them were escalating the situation. Lisa was trying to de-escalate with Brooks. Her husband was trying to de-escalate with Talene. Both ladies kept coming back at each other. Now, I do not think that what the husband said to Brooks warranted Brooks's response, because he did yell. But let me say this. I'm not one of those people that feel like a man can't say nothing to a woman. He asked her, chill out. He asked her, stay away. He asked her to stop advancing. She kept coming. So yes, he yelled at her. I don't think that automatically means he's a horrible person and, oh my gosh, you yelled at a woman. Yes, he yelled at a woman. He yelled at a woman who's drunk, who's being belligerent, and who is advancing on his wife, who he is trying to pull away from the situation. So yes, he yelled at her. Sometimes we yell because we are trying to get people's attention and we're trying to get them to do what we need them to do. I do not think that he just unprovoked got in Brooks's face. That is how I feel about it. Now, some people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But when I was watching it in real time, I was like, the minute he yelled, I knew it was going to be a problem. But I understood why he yelled, because this, and again, remember, we're getting an edited version. So we don't know how long them women was yelling in each other's face. And we don't know who all was trying to get them. But in the moment we saw it, we saw Lisa trying to pull Brooks away, and Brooks wouldn't stop. And we saw Talene's husband, Rafi, trying to pull Talene away, and Talene wouldn't stop. So yes, he told her, I don't even know what he said to her, but he did yell at her. So then all of a sudden, now Lisa was like, don't do that. Don't talk to a woman like that. You don't talk to a woman like that. Don't talk to a woman like that. And that's where I think it went left, because now it's about, oh, he yelled at a woman. How dare he yell at a woman? Why would he yell at a woman? Because that woman was drunk and out of control and being belligerent. Sorry, not sorry. I personally do not feel like, now I think there's enough fault to go around. I think Talene, because Talene got loud and Talene was cussing. I think Brooke started it at the table when she was mumbling under her breath and talking shit about Talene. Well, actually, she started it when she called her a beggar, but whatever. So I think that a lot of them behave badly. But I do agree with you. Over in Dubai, you can go to jail for that, because baby Stansberry, because Sergio kept trying to get in it, and Stansberry was like, sit down, stay out of it, stay out of it. And I understood, because at first I was like, dang, but then I understood why she told him to stay out of it, because like she said, first of all, you can get arrested for this in Dubai. Yelling in the middle of the street and the police show up, you could go to jail. So if the police show up, the last thing I want is for my husband to be out there in the middle of it, because the police are just going to take everybody to jail. Remember that tourist that got arrested? They might still be in jail over there, because that's what they were doing. They were yelling and they got arrested for yelling. So I was like, I understood where Stansberry was coming from after she said that. She said, look, I just moved over here. Okay. I'm the new kid on the block. I just built my house. And these people are acting a fool in a country where they could go to jail for this. This ain't no regular housewife shit. They could go to jail for this. So no, me and my husband, we're going to sit our happy ass right here. Stansberry said, the party is over. I love y'all, but y'all got to go to hell home. She put all of them out. And I do agree that I think production should have intervened a lot sooner, especially knowing where they are and knowing how sensitive the rules are and the laws are in that country. I agree with you 100% that production should have intervened sooner. I agree 100%. 100%. But it basically spilled out into the street, and they had the whole Lisa back. Rafi was trying to get Talene. They had the whole Brooks back. And the one thing that cracked me up at the end of this scene, baby, when Talene was like, beggar, I'm a beggar. She said, who begged me for clothes? She said, you wore my whole wardrobe last season. Now I want to go back and look at last season and look at all of the outfits Caroline Brooks wore last season, honey. She said, you wore my whole wardrobe last season. I said, oh, shit. I said, now I want to go back and look at last season and see what Brooks wore all last season, honey. Let's compare Instagrams, child. Let's see how many outfits we see on Talene's Instagram that was on Brooks' Instagram from the show, honey. And again, I believe it. I believe that Talene had Brooks's back, because I believe they were friends for real, for real. And I believe that Brooks was like, I gotta have these confessional looks. When I'm gonna be with Stansberry and Ayan, like I gotta look the part. So I 100% believe that she probably did get a little loan here or there. Okay. Production should have pulled the receipts. I know that's right. Just simply, listen, I'm here for, production is shady like that sometimes. I am here for it, honey. But yeah, that was the episode. It was messy. It was really, really, really messy. And me personally, like I said, I feel like I think there's enough blame to go around. Like, I'm not going to put it all on Talene's husband. I think he was in a situation where he was trying to get his wife. His wife was cussing and getting loud. his wife's best friend, somebody that he had a relationship with, that he's known for years, was getting out of hand. Because that's what he kept saying to Brooks. He was like, come on, you my girl. Come on, stop. Like, you my girl. Like, come on. So he really tried before it escalated. He really did try before it escalated. But ultimately, I think there's enough blame to go around. Now they getting ready to go to Dubai. Go to Bali. So we'll see what happens when they get to Bali. But it looks like Ayan and Lisa about to fall out. So that's gonna be very interesting. Anyway, that was the episode, you guys. Don't forget to meet me back here at 6 o'clock for us to have the pre show for Big Brother. If you are still interested in being a part of the Big Brother Fantasy League, the information is on my community wall. Also, there's a video that I did around 12:30 that explains everything, how to get in the league and what to do. Hope to see you guys there. I'm so excited and I'm so looking forward to Big Brother. Okay, talk to y'all later. Peace.